The following program is a production of WXCL Television.
Coming up next on WXCL TV, the power of the youth vote in the upcoming election is real. We'll find out what is being done in our area to make sure those who have never voted before do and know what they're doing. This is South Florida Today. Good evening, I'm Tony May. Welcome to a special edition of South Florida Today called Young Voters. That is just what the next half hour is all about. You've probably heard it many times already. Predictions are, at this election, we will see the greatest number of 18 to 24-year-olds ever to cast ballots. Experts point to many reasons: the war, gas prices, and a historical presidential ticket. But we wanted to find out if local young adults are really planning to register and go to the polls, or if this year would be like past important elections and see the lowest turnout in that age group. Our first story takes us into classrooms all over Palm Beach County, where it seems teens are excited about exercising their right to vote. 6 years ago, Supervisor of Elections office worker Adina Sorrell came up with a plan to get more young people to the polls.
Consider voting for them. So be an educated voter and vote in your best interest. I created the iVote project back in 2005, and I brought the proposal to the Supervisor of Elections, Dr. Arthur Anderson, and he really thought it would be a great program to implement. So that's what we did. And since 2005, we've partnered with the League of Women Voters and other local organizations, as well as retired teachers. And to date, we've registered over 15,000 students. So I would like to congratulate all of them and thank them so much for their efforts.
The idea? To go into senior civics classes around Palm Beach County and get kids excited about registering to vote.
Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Great. My name is Adina Sorrell. I'm the Special Projects Coordinator at Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections. And today we're going to learn a little bit about voting history.
First, share some history in a way that instantly grabs the soon-to-be voters' attention.
In 1787, when Congress first enacted the Constitution of the United States, only white men that owned land were permitted to vote. Think about that. So ladies, please sit down. If you're a minority, if you're black, Hispanic, Asian, any minority, please sit down. And for those of you that are still standing, if you do not personally have your name on a deed saying that you own land, please sit down. Okay, so you could see how back in 1787, none of us would have been able to vote.
And in both small and big classes, Adina and volunteers pass out voter registration forms.
Anybody registered to vote already here? Nope.
And they listen while teens share what they feel are the major issues in the upcoming election.
Poverty, that's important as well. The war. Healthcare.
Those who choose to can register right in class. Many 17-year-olds we met were excited about the opportunity, even if it meant waiting until the next election.
I want to be able to have a voice and a choice of who I want elected, although I'm not voting in this year's election because I'm not old enough, but I want to in the next election.
Because it's something that I plan to do in the future, and since it was available today, I think this is a good thing. So since it was there, that's what I wanted to do, and I plan to vote in the future.
I think if you don't go to the polls and you don't vote, then whatever happens, I don't think you should really criticize it because you didn't put your input into the decision.
I'm interested in the election because it's our future, my future, and I need to worry about how the economy is going to be and what all the regulations are going to be for me and my family when I grow up.
The high school seniors we spoke with echoed their classmates over and over again. the economy, and the war in Iraq came up as reasons they will vote this year.
We're paying taxes, and we're spending millions of dollars overseas, and we're getting nowhere.
Where should the millions of dollars be spent?
Here.
Here at Park Vista, here in Florida.
It's the economy. It's crashing because of the war after all the years. All the money that goes towards it. The gas prices are shooting up.
And it might not be affecting us personally now, but it's definitely affecting our parents, which later on will.
And businesses that are all closing.
Yeah.
Is it affecting your parents in specific ways? Like have you felt it at home? You know, maybe a parent has felt it at work or at, you know, home prices plummeting.
Yeah.
Stock markets.
Definitely.
I mean, do your
The
parents talk
workload
to you
is
about
going
that, or do they
down.
try
Yeah.
to protect you from it?
My mom talks to me about stock markets, how they're crashing.
Adina has been in dozens of classrooms over the years and feels that the low voter turnout among young people is turning around.
And you vote in the general election, the presidential election. Congratulations to all of you. We've seen the increase, obviously because it's a presidential year, but there's always been an interest when we've gone into the high schools. The students have always been interested in the whole electoral process.
She visited 8 schools and signed up 3,000 students. Like Greg Olseth, who says his family is definitely feeling the pinch.
In the past, usually gone out to eat once or twice a week, but now we've really cut back because of gas, and I don't really know, but apparently the cost of eating out has gone up a lot.
Most people want to vote. Most people want to. I don't know if their reasons are all the same, but I'm sure most kids want to vote.
Gas prices are kind of high, but I have money to pay for it, but still, it's kind of a hassle. And my mom, she's having problems because she's like my parents are divorced, so it's hard for her to pay for things just by herself.
April Hardison is only 17, but hopes her friends who can vote will.
I think a couple people will go vote, but I don't think others will take the time out of their schedule to, vote. Too lazy, I think.
But Adina is not deterred by the kids in class who don't seem so interested.
If you take a look back in history, I certainly do expect more turnout this go-round. The 2002 midterm election versus the 2006 midterm election actually yielded more than 2 million voters in this demographic of 18 to 26. So I'm very excited to kind of anticipate the great turnout from this demographic at this upcoming general election. I'm really excited about that.
Samantha Leo turned 18 on the day her class was registering to vote. She expects to exercise her right on November 4th. They say it's a privilege, They say, women up until the 1920s couldn't even vote. Do you think of it that way, or is it just a given that, this is what we do?
Well, up until a few months ago, I thought it's just like whatever. I was never into politics. But recently I've been looking into it because I think it's important, because a majority, 18 years old, we're still considered naive, but I think a majority of us know what's going on.
And it is teens just like this that will push teachers and organizers to keep educating and inspiring the young voters of tomorrow. Now, whether teens registered as Democrat, Republican, or Independent, all were advised to be informed voters. And several nonpartisan groups, all representing children's causes, sponsored a candidate forum where all the questions were asked by young adults.